in a quiet village surrounded by hills and ancient trees, there lived a mad woman whom everyone feared and avoided. Her name was Mama Ifun, and though people called her crazy, her eyes held a mystery, like she saw things no one else could. They said she spoke in riddles. They said she danced in the forest with spirits. They said she laughed when no one else found anything funny. But one day, everything changed. This is her story. Mama Ifun was once a beautiful woman, a daughter of a powerful hunter. She had married young and had one child, a boy named Eo. But what came? Her husband went missing in the forest. Her child was taken by strangers in the night. And her mind, once sharp as a tiger's tooth, began to wander. She started wearing rags, talking to trees, laughing at chickens. She slept under the big baobab tree in the village square and bathed in the rain. Children threw stones at her. Elders ignored her. Only the old herbalist, Baba Kolopo, greeted her gently. "The world spins differently in her head," he used to say. One night, during the Harmattan season, when the wind was dry and the moon looked like a cracked plate in the sky, Mama Ifun began to speak. She stood at the center of the village square, her hair wild, her hands raised, and her voice louder than thunder. "I see fire on the hills. I see the river running backwards. I see a goat talking like a man. And I see death wearing the face of a friend." The people laughed. The mad woman has started again. But one boy, Timmy, listened. He was 13 years old, curious and brave. That night, he followed her from a distance as she wandered toward the forest, still speaking to unseen things. The village of Olukoja had a secret. Long ago, the ancestors had hidden a golden crown beneath the sacred tree of Odujua. That crown protected the village, crops grew without struggle, rain came on time, and no wild animal attacked their homes. But the current king, Oba Jelelai, was greedy. He had sent men to dig up the crown and sell it in a faraway city. They failed because the crown was protected by spirits. Now, the Oba was planning something worse. He had invited strangers, white-robed men with soft voices and hard hearts, who promised to develop the village by building a gold mine in the sacred forest. Only Mama Ifun knew the truth. She had seen it in a dream. They would dig, and the earth will bleed. The spirits will rise, and the village will cry. One morning, Timmy ran to Baba Kolopo, the herbalist. "Baba," he said, "I think the mad woman sees the future." Baba Kolopo smiled. "Then listen well. A mad voice speaks true when no sane voice dares." So they waited. And soon, the three signs Mama Ifun had mentioned began to appear. Lightning struck the western hill and burned the trees for 3 days, though no rain followed. The river ran backwards, the village stream turned muddy and flowed in the wrong direction, frightening fishermen. A goat spoke like a man. The Oba's goat bleated so loudly during a meeting that the elders thought it said, "Lies. Lies." People began to whisper. Could the mad woman be right? Despite warnings, the Oba began the mining project. Machines rode into the forest. Trees were cut. The sacred tree was touched. That night, a thick mist covered the village. Strange animals appeared in the streets, two-headed lizards, glowing snakes, and birds that sang like crying babies. Mama Ifun stood again in the square. "You disturbed what sleeps. Now it is awake." Thunder roared. Lightning cracked the sky. And one by one, the workers went missing. Even the white-robed strangers were never seen again. The king fell sick. His body shook like dry leaves. He called for Mama Ifun. Inside the Oba's palace, Mama Ifun stood barefoot. The guards tried to stop her, but their hands froze in midair. She stood over the king and said, "I am not mad. I am chosen. You robbed the land. You mocked the ancestors. Now you must kneel, not to me, but to them. She lifted her hands and chanted words no one understood. The ground shook. A soft wind filled the room, and the king fainted. When he woke up, he was weeping. I see what I have done. The next day, the people gathered under the baobab tree. The Oba walked out in plain clothes. No crown, no guards. I have failed you, he said. From today, the forest is sacred again. Mama Ifun stood beside Baba Kolopo, who held a new staff, carved from the sacred tree. The ancestors have spoken, said the old herbalist. The land healed. The river flowed right. The birds returned. And the people began to treat Mama Ifun not as a mad woman, but as a seer. She lived many more years, never again called mad, only Mama Uto, Mother of Truth. And so, the village of Olukoja was saved, not by a warrior, not by a king, not by the rich, but by a woman they once called crazy. The wind still carries her name, and sometimes, when the moon is full, you can hear laughter in the forest. Not madness, but truth. Please subscribe to my channel, it costs you nothing.